Most pedals have replaceable and serviceable bearings, so from time to time it's a good idea to give them a service or even replace the internals. You can also replace a bent or cross-threaded axle using the same method. You're going to need hex keys or a pedal spanner, 7, 10 and 17mm spanners, degreaser, paper cloth, grease, a magnetic screwdriver, and a magnetic bowl is also useful, but not essential. Many Shimano pedals are serviceable, and although the outer cage may vary, the internals are similar, meaning this task can be applied to mountain and road SPD and SPD SL pedals. Servicing can be a fiddly job, but if you want to prolong your pedal's life expectancy and keep them running smooth, it's vital. Do it a few times a year depending on use, particularly if you ride a lot in winter. This method can also be used to cue a play in a pedal, but you might need to acquire some replacement bearings. Our pedals require a 17mm spanner to undo the axle from the pedal body, but some other models require an extra tool. Place a spanner on the axle bolt and undo. It's worth noting that the right-hand pedal has a reverse thread and will loosen in an anti-clockwise direction. You may need a strong grip for this task, or if you have a vise available, then it'll be much easier. Once loosened, unwind the axle by hand and remove carefully. Using degreaser and some paper cloth, thoroughly clean the axle and the inside of the pedal. Using 10 and 7mm spanners, remove the lock ring and nut, then wind off by hand and put in a safe place. Remove the bearing race by hand, or use a spanner if it's stiff. Then remove the metal bearing housing. It's a good idea to have something ready to catch the bearings before doing this. Remove the remaining bearings, followed by the plastic spacer. Remove the threaded barrel and rubber seal. Using degreaser and paper cloth, clean all the parts and examine each for wear. Spray or pour some degreaser into a container to clean the bearings. An aerosol cap is ideal. Lightly grease both ends of the bearing housing. Using a magnetic screwdriver, place the bearings back into one side of the housing only. If you don't have a magnetic screwdriver to hand, you can magnetize a normal one by rubbing it on another magnetic object. Return the threaded barrel and the rubber seal to the axle. Fit the bearing housing to the axle and return the small plastic stopper. Return the rest of the bearings using the magnetic screwdriver. Replace the cone nut by hand. If the thread is clean, you should be able to wind it on without tools. Finish it off with a spanner, making sure it's loose enough to allow the bearings to turn freely but not restrict them in any way. Getting this right can be a process of trial and error. Return the lock nut and tighten against the cone using the two spanners. When tightened, confirm that the bearing housing is still able to turn freely and there is no play. Again, this might be a case of trial and error. Finally, apply some grease to the reassembled axle and fit back into the pedal body. Tighten with a spanner and your pedal is now ready to be fitted to the bike. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the rest of the channel. Let us know what you want more of on your BikeRadar in the comment section below.